This is the back wheel from a Bugaboo Donkey, and we've had a couple requests asking about how to shift out the tire and inner tube. So I'm just going to show how to do that. We've done this on other sorts of stroller wheels before, but what you need to do first is remove the cap and then remove any excess air. In this case, it's not actually a stroller with a damaged inner tube, but the process will be the same, of course. So you want to remove any excess air, and then you need to pop off this tire. I'm going to use a pair of spoons, but they also find tools. Essentially, you just need anything flat that's not too sharp. You don't want to do damage to the inner tube inside. A lot of times, flathead screwdrivers are not the way to go because they are a bit too sharp. These are nice and rounded over, and they do sell specific tools for this. You'll often get a pair of them in a inner tube patching kit. You just want to pop the tire up over the rim, and at some point you can just use your fingers. Now you can remove the inner tube. You want to push the ventilation thing in through and then just pull out the inner tube. There, now the inner tube is removed. There'll come some of this rubber dust. Just clean it up afterwards. You can just pull the tire off. So that's how you would remove it if you wanted to, for example, replace a tire. If you're just replacing the inner tube, then you just lift the tire up over the end, pull the tube out, and put the new one in. But I did the whole process in this case so that you can see how to remove both the tire and the inner tube. So putting the tire back on, you want to first get it over one side of the rim. Then you can put the inner tube in. Pay attention to where the nozzle is so that it's next to the hole. Feed it all the way around. And you can feed the nozzle through. And then you want to put the tire back. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're not pinching the inner tube between the tire and the rim. So you want to look what you're doing while you do it. When you hit the point where the nozzle is, it'll need to push back in a little bit in order to get the tire past. If you're having trouble that the nozzle keeps disappearing inside the rim, like if you have a straight nozzle, you can put the cap back on before you push the tire back in place. And this will prevent the nozzle from slipping down inside. And then you want to make sure that the tire is evenly dispersed around the rim, that it's not too far out on any side. And you're going to want to check that as you're pumping. Okay, so I had to use the hose attachment on this pump. It's not the one I usually use, but now it's pumping correctly. Before it's fully pumped, you do another second check that it's more or less even or around all the sides. And then you can pump it up tight. You can get it really tight because you're going to lose a little air as you remove the pump from the nozzle. I recommend using hand pumps or foot pumps and not air compressors as you would at the gas station for pumping these things, because it's very easy to over pump it, and then when the inner tube explodes, it can very often damage the rim itself. So that's how you replace the inner tube or tire on the back wheel of a Bugaboo Donkey. Hope this has been helpful. If you did find it helpful, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future.